Everybody, it's Push from Pits and Push Sports Talk Radio. Today, for the Forever Athlete series, we got Cassandra Fit. Come on in. Check us out. Let's see what she got in store for us today.
Hi everybody, my name is Cassandra. I am one of the sport performance coaches and stretch therapists at Widow Wellness here at A&M Sport and Fitness. We are located at 16,000 Trade Zone Avenue, Suite 104 in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Here I train all my athletes on their strength and conditioning, their sport performance, their rehab and rehabilitative services, make sure their bodies are healthy and they perform at their peak. So typically with warm-ups, I'll have everybody take their shoes off. Important thing is to work on foot strength. So if you're not working your feet, you're not priming your calves, your ankles, your knees, and your hips. Your feet are your foundation, so keep them nice and healthy. You move a lot better on the court. So we'll do tiptoes first. This helps build your ankle and calf strength as much as possible. You want to be agile in every single direction, so you go forward, then reverse them. Trying to keep your ankles nice and straight the whole way through. Then you're gonna turn and go sideways. You're gonna do step side. Go back the opposite way. Every time I'm stepping, I'm making sure that I'm keeping my hips square and I'm not gonna flail back and forth. Keeps your balance right. So you wanna make sure that you're stacked right on top of yourself. Okay. Work on your heels. A lot of drills are similar and transferable to other all sports. It's a matter of making sure you're actually doing them. So a lot of people hear that track and field or gymnastics is a very transferable sport for multiple athletes. There's a reason that they do that. Their warm-ups are all inclusive. So that's how I like to put mine. Now we're gonna incorporate that into your hamstrings and your balance. So you're gonna take a step, do your RDL, drive up. Take a step, RDL, drive up. This helps with my hips, hamstrings, and overall balance. I'm testing my foot strength here. Come back up nice and smooth. When you come back, you're gonna work on your quads. So you're gonna take a step, drive your hip. Work on the lateral strength. A lot of planes, people don't always train rotational or lateral. So the goal is the more you're adaptable for those different movement planes, your easier movement. You have better movement going side to side, changing whether you're gonna cross somebody on the court or you gotta juice somebody on the field. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Even the lateral step helps with people who play tennis. I got a tennis athlete over in California. She does her program. Her and her tennis coach have noticed a large improvement in her performance and she has less aches and pains. So it's a matter of keeping the body healthy and primed in every single direction that you move. Notice how I'm keeping my heel flat? That allows me to get the optimal movement in my hip and not take impact in my knees. I'm pushing off, come back over. So I settle my weight in my hip, I push off this leg, go to the next one. It also helps strengthen your inner and outer thighs for your adductors to help you be able to move without any groin issues. That's a lot of things that I see common with athletes, especially football players. A lot of football players have groin injuries. So it helps keep them reduce their injury risk. So we're gonna work on one thing I love, my athletes hate it, but I love to do animal crawls in their warm-ups. It helps prime their shoulders, build stability, build strength, and the more in tune you are with your hand-eye coordination and mind and muscle connection, the faster reaction time you have. So I get down to the ground. I'm testing my ankles, knees, and hips. You're gonna start on tiger crawls, opposite arm and leg. This is actually very challenging for a lot of people because they can't go smooth. The goal is to keep my core braced and my back as neutral as possible so you don't round up. Stack yourself accordingly, then you reverse it.
Okay, so the knees is not touching the ground at all.
Knees are barely touching the ground. I should be able to slip a piece of paper underneath your knees, but you're still stacked accordingly. Next one we work on is our gorilla walk. So my front heel is down, my back foot is up. All I'm gonna do is shift my weight to the front foot and then transfer over. So if you have knee problems, I don't advise this until you are cleared enough to do it. So I'll always make a modification for everybody. Hands are down, same concept, opposite hand and knee. So I'm gonna go from one to the next. This allows a smooth transition in hip rotations. This is the only one I don't do backwards.
Okay.
The last one that I have people do working on a frog hop. So with that, I'm gonna make sure that, say when I'm squatting, there are people who tend to lower the back down or they tend to tuck their hip underneath. This helps me keep them fine and neutral. So same when I drop from here, I wanna keep my heels down as much as possible. All we're gonna work on is going in a wider squat stance where you can. Try to push your knees apart. Stand up and forward your hips. A lot of people hate squatting because it injures their knees because their weight distribution is off. So if you can center your gravity into the middle of your foot without dropping your chest, keeping your spine nice and flat, pushing through the hips. And come back up to there. For the purpose of this is to be able to pull through your hip and have good coordination. A lot of people are top heavy, so they end up walking like this. The goal is to keep your pelvis and everything straight up and down. This opens up your hip, helps with your core, test all your angles. Now we're gonna go sideways with a face squat right for me. Try to keep your center of gravity really down. Keep up your heels. So heels will never touch the ground, you're gonna reverse it back over. There's multiple small muscles within our feet and within our calves. So unless we train them, they'll always be weak. You'll be susceptible to ankle injuries. So we're trying to limit that or reduce it to where you don't have those problems anymore. So now you're gonna walk on heels.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's hard. So it forces you to pull from your core to keep your balance.
Right. I could feel like you gotta keep this tight.
Okay. Stacking your core is important.
Right.
And take it on back.
Wow, this don't seem like it's that difficult, but it really is.
Warm-ups are always the hardest part, secretly. The actual workout is way easier for everyone. A lot of people feel like doing sitting and stretching where it's a static warm-up helps them. Static stretches are better for the end of a workout as opposed to the beginning. In the beginning, you want to always do a dynamic workout, which allows you to move through the muscle group and prime you for every exercise that you're about to do. So you want to mimic the things that you're about to do before you actually put weight on it or do any load bearing.
Okay.
We got quad stretches. So take a step, grab that foot, pull that hip down. So imagine squeezing your knee towards the other knee, keeping your
yeah. I feel it.
That's how you get your balance.
Okay.
So you take another step.
All right.
You can take a couple steps in between, just depends on who you are.
Squeeze that knee.
Yep. So
Right.
together.
Okay. I see that. Right.
Always have your balance.
Okay.
Imagine wherever your knee goes, you're gonna go. So I'm gonna turn my head, but if I pull my knee towards the other one, I'm centered.
Okay. I gotta work on that.
That's okay. Everybody gets it. So say it already got better from the first one to now. It's already better. Then spread them out and scrunch the ground with your toes. Spread them out, scrunch the ground with your toes. This helps build up your arch, but the better your arch moves, the least likely it is to overstretch the Achilles. Lift all your toes up, put your big toe down. And now you lift all your toes up, put your little toes down.
All of the other ones?
But that big toe has to stay up.
Yeah.
So having that helps build your arch, but it also helps stimulate that nerve and muscle connection between your brain and your muscles. So you have better activation, they're less likely to get injured, and you have a better connection to yourself. So we're gonna go into our quad stretch. You're gonna take a step, grab a foot, reach up, then go. You got it. That was it.
I didn't know. I look like, wow, don't grab me. Don't grab me. Forever athlete. We gotta get it done.
You got it.
Sometimes athletes need help. I get help sometimes.
You said squeeze the knee.
Squeeze the
So
knee.
imagine pulling this towards the other leg.
Gotcha.
It helps align your hips.
So with like a person who's super off balance like that, how could they work on that?
So sometimes I'll grab a PVC pipe or I'll have them stand next to a wall or a squat rack and you can hold on for support and do it stationary as opposed to traveling. So like I know a couple people have come through here and I'm like, okay, if we're working on balance, I'm gonna have you take your shoes off. I'm gonna have you take your socks off depending on your comfort. If you're not comfortable with that, just do socks.
Yeah.
But it's working on getting your feet to adjust to any type of movement pattern. So if your ankles are shaky or you've had a lot of ankle injuries, you want to be able to build that strength back up when doing drills that are without shoes, doing drills that are single leg to help with that mobility, but also build your strength back up.
Okay.
Sometimes shoes have too much cushion on the bottom and they throw our balance off. So it's a matter of getting level within your own self. And then you can find shoes that better accommodate you.
Okay.
What's going on, fam? What we got going on over here?
I'm setting up for a leg day. It is a power explosive leg day. So majority of the athletes that I work with are football players. I do work with track and field as well as basketball, any other athlete. But your legs are your foundation. So if you got healthy, strong legs, your speed, your agility, your performance, your output for power is way better. You perform better. So the goal is to keep you healthy, keep your speed without losing any of your athletic ability. So pick it up, I'm gonna approach it like a hinge or a deadlift. I'm gonna use my hips, keep my back nice and straight. So my hands can be under just like this and do a front squat on the landmine. Or you can have your hands underneath, palms facing you, squat low, pull from there. Every time I move, I'm keeping this nice and flat and tight to brace my core. That way I don't hyperextend or injure my back in any fashion. So for somebody who has a back injury or has had problems with back injuries, I would recommend a front squat or a low loaded versus barbell. Just like that. See, back is protected, but you can still drive to the legs. Remember, no matter what you're lifting or if you're going through mobility drills, when you hold the air, your body holds tension. So you want to be able to control that breath work. If you don't breathe, you're more likely to pass out and limit your oxygen flow. Oxygen helps with the moving of weight. So controlling that helps your mindset. Limited oxygen limits your brain. You want to be able to be sharp in your skills every time, no matter what you're doing. That way you'll be at your best.
What is the typical price range for a session with you or with anybody from Witted Wellness?
So they range. Because we have so many different athletes and people of different age ranges, we have it based on, say they're 13 and under or high school and under, and then our adult prices. So anything between 85 to, say, like 150.
We see y'all train Baby Yak. Shout out to Baby Yak.
Happy birthday to him. Today's his
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Happy
Baby
birthday,
Yak.
man.
We watching, man. We watching.
Yeah, 8 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was
He
asking.
just turned 9 today.
Yeah, Baby Yak is a beast, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Baby Yak and his parents. Y'all doing a great job.
All right, so we're gonna move into step-ups. I'm not gonna load them because I want to work on making sure that your coordination is there. If I load it and you're unstable, you're more likely to fall. So what I want you to work on is your ankle stability, your hip mobility, and just being able to focus on your core. Step-ups build your quad and your glutes. So it's a matter of having that weight distribution. Anytime you step, you're gonna keep your weight in the front leg. This one's just here as a tap back. So all I'm gonna do is keep my weight center in the gravity, step up, tap the foot, come back down. The goal is to not let this front knee bob back and forth. If it falls in and out, that tells me you got weak inner and outer thigh.
Stability issue. Okay.
The stronger you train single leg drills, the better you are at two-legged drills. So it's unilateral versus bilateral. All you're gonna do is keep your weight, keep your center of gravity tall, push up, tap down, push up, tap down. Whether you're running or not, you're going through that motion.
All right.
Okay, step down. And get your quad and glute. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that weight in that front leg. 5, 3, 4, 5. Well, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. We gotta make it to 12. 11, 12. Go ahead and switch legs. Once you're done with that, go ahead and switch feet. So we're trying to recenter that ankle. That way you are stable. This gonna help your speed too.
Yeah.
Like, I know you've been working on it, but we're gonna make sure your feet stay flexible for it.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts and Foot Sports Talk Radio. Listen, Forever an Athlete started already. I don't know why I agreed to this. This was a push I did. I should have just been behind the camera, but I'm looking to get back into shape and drop these pounds. Y'all see it now. I'm gonna let y'all see it because it ain't gonna be here come the next 5 or 6 months. But enough of me. Let's get into Witted Wellness. If you can, man, give a little bit about yourself and about Witted Wellness and your specialties.
I'm Tino. I've been a sports therapist now for 21 years. I started at Bowie State University. I was an athletic trainer there for about 6 years, and then I started my own business. We work with all caliber athletes from high school, elementary, all the way up through pro level athletes. We have a few NBA players, a few NFL players. We do sports recovery, we help with injuries, and we do functional movements and agility and strength.
Right, so listen, a little brief. Bowie State University, Towers Hall. Then we have a time. Then we have a time.
Yes, sir.
But listen, tell them what made you want to get into, physical therapy.
Bowie, actually. The athletes at Bowie, I got tired of watching them get hurt. And I felt like at a D2 school, we just didn't have the resources or the knowledge base to make them better. So I went out and tried to learn on my own for real.
That's important that he said that. And I'm going to get him to expand just a little bit on that. But he said, as a D2 school, we don't have all the necessary resources. And this is something that shouldn't happen, regardless if you're Division I, Division II, or Division III. You should always have the resources, or the universities should always have the resources to take care of the athletes that represent the university. Talk about the importance of why, like, for you to just go out and see your friends and associates from the school, to take that upon yourself and drive it. Why is that so important for the universities, the NCAA, and everybody else, the CIAA, the MEAC, the SWAC, the SEAC? Why is that so important for them to be able to establish that resource to help keep their athletes better uniformity?
Athletes are their breadwinners. Like, when you really look at most colleges and universities, like athleticism, basketball, football, like every sport just about is the doorway to the university. You don't know Alabama without Alabama football.
Yeah.
You don't, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know Duke without Duke basketball. So taking care of your athletes and making sure that your athletes are top tier will easily bring more money, more revenue, more attention to your universities. It's simple. Like,
For those who are interested, how can they get in contact with you?
You can follow us on Instagram. It's at Witty Wellness on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can also shoot us an email. It's at wittywellness@gmail.com.
So for anyone out there who's looking you've had a pre-existing injury, whether you're an athlete or not, and you just want to get your body right, because they say the body is a temple, right?
Yes.
You can't live if your body ain't right. So...
yeah, tap in, man. Like, LeBron spent $1 million on his body for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be one of the greatest, if you want to be able to do it for a long time, tapping in and actually locking into your body is part of it. Yeah.
Tino said it, longevity. Listen, more to come. This isn't the first. We're going to keep this rolling. We're going to keep bringing in awareness. And we're going to keep giving exposure to African-American, minority, small businesses, man.
Sure.
Because we grind the hardest and we put in the most work without so much notoriety. So appreciate you, Tino, with it. Well, that's for having us and allowing us into y'all space, man.
Sure, anytime.
It's been real. We almost done, but listen, we back. Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio.